Okay, this is part 2 of me reading Jeremiah chapter 50 and 51. But this right now, I'm still into Jeremiah 50 here. The reason why I'm reading this is because what's happening with the Kurds and the ISIS in Mosul seems to be going along with the book of Nahum in our time. Excuse me. Well, I tell you, you should watch the beginning of the first video. The reason I've been in Bible prophecy for a long time, and of course, when the Saddam statue went down, got out of it. But then with ISIS coming in and with the Kurds and everything, I'll tell you why as I go down through here. But this is part 2, so I'll get to it now. Okay. Your mother shall be sore confounded. I think this is talking about Babylon, ancient Babylon. Yeah, your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. And to me, the hindermost of the nation means the last of the nations. To me, was ISIS. It was the latest nation, and now it's going to become a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert, like what happened to Babylon. Because of the wrath of the Lord it shall be uninhabited. It shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all their plagues. So in other words, what happened to Babylon to me is like a foreshadow of what's going to happen to ISIS, or maybe Sunni Islam. Because to me, ISIS and Sunni Islam are the same thing, except that ISIS is Sunni Islam in a fundamentalist way. Okay, put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord. And to me, that happened to the Gulf War, and I think it's going to happen again. I think it's actually happened right now, due to that ISIS is at its in Mosul. Mosul to me has become like the new Babylon, and it's going to be wiped out by the Kurds. Shout against her round about, she hath given her hand. Her foundations are fallen, her walls are thrown down, for it is the vengeance of the Lord. Take vengeance upon her, as she hath done, do unto her. What ISIS, to me, this is talking about ISIS now. What happened with ISIS? What ISIS did to the innocents of the Kurds and the Yazidis and all that stuff, it's now going to come back on them. That's what I think. That's what I think it could be talking about here. Okay, cut off the sword from Babylon, and him that handled the sickle in the time of harvest. For fear of the oppressing sword, they shall turn everyone to his people, and they shall flee everyone to his own land. Now, I've seen this take on different meanings through the years. For instance, the first time I thought it was talking about the UN inspectors. They were cut off, and then they fled out of Iraq before we bombed them, because they were feared that they might, become human shields of Saddam. Now I think this is talking about ISIS in our time. Cut off the sword from Babylon, and him that handleth the sickle in the time of harvest. And the time of harvest could be our time, because right now it is the time of harvest, it's fall. For fear of the oppressing sword, they shall turn everyone to his people, and they shall flee everyone to his own land. To me, this means, I think this could be talking about the ISIS. Most of the Muslims who are in ISIS are not really native to Iraq. They have come in from all parts, the foreigners and stuff. They're the ones that are stuck in Mosul right now. They're going to try to flee from the oppressing sword, which will be coming from the Kurds, as I read on further here. That's what I'm thinking here. Oh, I think I might... I'll read a little further, then I'll stop it. Then, okay, yeah. Okay. Israel is a scattered sheep. The lions have driven him away. First, the king of Assyria hath devoured him. And last, this Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, hath broken his bones. And I don't know what that means. don't know what that means. Okay. Therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, behold, I will punish the king of Babylon and his land, and I will as I have punished the king of Assyria. To me, the king of Babylon in our time is a blamer, because he's the one that can make or break Iraq. He actually, Bush before him was like the king of Babylon because he pretty much conquered it, but then he gave it to the Kurds and the Shiites, who rose up and then created ISIS. And now, to me, a blamer is the king of Babylon. He pretty much owns Iraq. And so anyway, I think this way. Oblamer is the king of Babylon. He doesn't want to go after ISIS because it's his baby, really. But due to Putin going in and showing Oblamer how it's done, you don't bomb empty pickup trucks. You don't that with $1 million cruise missiles. You don't bomb buildings without ISIS in it. You don't warn them and say, "Hey, we're going to bomb it." But Putin showed how it's done. Now Oblamer is forced to his hands are waxing feeble. He has to turn against his own creation, and so yeah. Now, to me, Oblamer is being punished by having to destroy his baby. Okay, and I'll bring Israel again to his habitation, and he shall feed on Carmel and Bashan, and his soul shall be satisfied upon Mount Ephraim and Gilead. And to me, that's already happened, but it will happen again. In those days, and at that time, I better stop it here. I better see how much time is left here. Oh, I can still go. I'll continue it here. Okay, switch this now.